Hello and welcome to my review of the Wordbearers Legion Gal Vorbak for Warhammer The Horus Heresy from Games Workshop. Now, a set of 5 of these Gal Vorbak will cost you £67.50, and we don't know exactly how many parts it consists of, but it just goes on to say it contains 5 multi-part models. Nothing stopping you really from buying the 5 plastic possessed for a bit cheaper, for £40. You could probably even get a 20% discount, meaning you could pick them up for about 32, so less than half the price of these, and then just use them as Gal Vorbak. But these have way more detail, of course, and are specific to Wordbearers, which means they've got a load of Wordbearers iconography, markings and things like that. So format of this review is as usual. I'll have a look at each of these Gal Vorbak individually, then there are no spare parts, so I'll go straight into the size comparisons, and then at the end I'll go through all of the rules. So let's have a look at these Gal Vorbak. Fantastic minis, loads of detail on these. You know, you can really get that sense that they are demonic and that they're possessed and that they have been changed for all times. You know, they looked into the depths of the Eye of Terror itself, and they possess strengths and abilities far above other Astartes. So if you can just have a look at the detail there, each one is unique, each one is different. You know, you've got a book there with some kind of growth or fire, I don't know. You've got some claws coming out of the power plant. The power plant is like extended. You've got this sort of bony protrusion hand coming out of the gauntlet there. This hand is almost like a power fist in a way. You've got some cabling, lots of 3D detailing, lots of cracks, lots of bones in the armour, lots of icons. So that's that one. Then we've got this one, which is firing. I think it's like a bolt spitter. This really cool looking claw that's, you know, almost like a wolf's skull or whatever. Yeah, loads of icons there. I like the rib cage that you can see, and bits of bone and things. Their face looks awesome with this big horn jutting out the top, and yeah, the power plant again. There's loads of cables, and I like how the spine is fused with the power plant. Got this one where left hand has turned into like some kind of claw thing, bony appendages, and the feet have turned into hooves. The right arm seems absolutely fine though, unscathed. Got a bolt pistol there. The chest is all, you know, has got some sinewy type cabling and bones. You've got some horns jutting out of the helmet. The power plant even has a spine jutting out the top and a load of cabling and, you know, sinewy things. You got this one, again firing with this claw-like hand. That helmet looks very, very cool, and this one sort of juts out into some kind of, you know, sharp instrument. The legs seem to be fine on this one, no mutations on the legs at all, but the power plant and the helmet and the arm and the chest, arms, you know, look at that power plant completely disjointed there. And then finally we have this one, which you know, looks like the bolt pistol's fused into the hand there. The helmet looks really odd. It's sort of like, you know, been pulled back. You've got some sinewy things going on with the leg and some kind of creature's skull that's been segmented, bisected. More of the spine coming out of the power plant. Yeah, and you know, these layered parts of the shoulder pattern. Fantastic minis, lots of detail, very grotesque if you're into that kind of thing, kind of like necromorph, demonic sort of gifts, as they're called, all of these growths and things, very different to a lot of the other word bearers really. The closest you'll get with these is obviously Argyle, the Blade Slaves and Marigal. You don't find it anywhere else in the word bearers force or characters. So speaking of which, let's go through some size comparisons. First of all, let's have a look at the Blade Slaves with the Gal Vorbak. You'll be pleased to know that there's not really any difference whatsoever with these, other than the Blade Slaves obviously have blades and plasma pistols, but in terms of the mutations and things, I don't know, I'd probably say the Blade Slaves are thicker, same size bases, you know, the 40mm bases. The armor plate is the same, you know, like the Mark IV, but the legs just seem a bit chunkier, a bit thicker on the Blade Slaves compared to the Gal Vorbak. And of course, you know, their blades are fantastic, aren't they? They really are cool. But yeah, I guess you could proxy them as Gal Vorbak. Nothing really stopping you there if you wanted to swap one in or swap two in for a game, just to add a bit of variety, or even add you know, both of them to a Gal Vorbak squad if you didn't want to use up Zardu Layak. You could have the 7 in a Gal Vorbak squad, which is pretty horrific, really. So yeah, that's the Blade Slaves. They're going to be the same height at least. Argyle, the guy himself, is going to, you know, be a fair bit bigger than these Gal Vorbak, mainly due to the pose and things. But that's great, you know, him milling about all of these works very well. They're gonna, aesthetically, they complement him and he complements them. Aesthetically, there is a synergy between these two sets of units. Everything from the kind of demonic possessed armor to the horns, to the bony growths and things, and then of course got to compare them all to Marigal, which is like a Gal Vorbak Contemptor Dreadnought. Absolutely fantastic. Again, similar, you know, in scope compared to like a normal Mark IV word bearers Space Marine. It's a similar kind of story with like a Contemptor, you know, moving up with a Contemptor being Marigal. It's that kind of size increase, which is fantastic. Might as well just show you, you know, an Ashen Circle with the Gal Vorbak. Ashen Circle, probably similar height and things. It really depends on the pose. Like, yeah, they're a bit smaller there. But yeah, of course they're bigger than the Mark IV normally. And we might as well just compare them all to Lorgar, where Lorgar stands. Yeah, going to be taller than all of them, at least off the, you know, on that scenic base, but going to be taller than them all just normally. Here are the Gal Vorbak next to some sort of standard Space Marines that you might find. You've got an older, you know, Mark III, you've got the newer Mark III, and then you've got a Mark VI. So how do they compare? So definitely bigger than the older Mark III. Yeah, a bit bigger than the new Mark III. I mean, they're both standing upright. Yeah, a fair bit bigger, that one. And then the Mark VI as well. So yeah, if you've got any of these other marks of Space Marine armour, then the Gal Vorbak are going to be bigger, especially on those 40mm bases, and you're going to be able to spot them on the tabletop. Final comparison with some 40k miniatures. So we have Space Marine here, Slime Arbo and Primaris. So yep, going to be a fair bit bigger than normal Space Marines, but in terms of Primaris, yeah, still a fair bit bigger than normal Primaris, just to give you an idea, and of course way bigger than Slime Arbo. So hope that helps. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for Gal Vorbak. they are an elite choice and they will cost you 275 points. They're actually called Dark Brethren in the book, rather than like a Gal Vorbak. It's just called a Gal Vorbak squad, but individually Dark Brethren. And they will cost you 275 points. Their stat line reads: movement of 8 inches, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength 5, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a save of 3+. That's fine. So they're pretty fast, they've got a good weapon skill, good strength, good toughness, an alright number of wounds, good initiative, good number of attacks. Their war gear, they have a bolt spitters and then tainted talons, frag grenades, crack grenades, and power armour. Their special rules: Legiones Astartes. The unit type is Dark Brethren, Infantry Corrupted. Their special rules: Legiones Astartes, Word Bearers, Relentless, Chosen Warriors, Rage of 2, Feel No Pain 5+, Bulky 2, Traitor. Options: the Gal Vorbak squad may include up to 5 additional Dark Brethren, 55 points per model. So you're not saving any extra points by just adding more to that unit rather than paying for a whole new unit. For every 5 models in the unit, one model may exchange their bolt spitter for one of the following: a flamer for +5 points each, a melter gun for +10 points, a warp fire blaster for 10 points, and tainted talons for free. For every 5 models in the unit, one model may exchange their tainted talons for one of the following: power weapon for free, power fist for 15 points each. So the devil is in the details with these, in that you know, you can mix and match. You can have power fists, you can have melter guns hidden in there, warp fire blasters, and so on. Let me just go through the rules for their sort of standard weapons that they come with, which are unique to word bearers. So firstly, their melee weapons. They are tainted talons, and they are strength of the user, which would be 5, AP 3, which is great for mints in normal Space Marines. They're rending 6+, and murderous strike 6+. So again, much like with the blade slaves, you've got a whole unit here, potentially up to 10 of them in one unit, that have, you know, AP 3, so good at mincing through typical Space Marine armour. They have the rending 6+, and they have the murderous strike 6+. Very decent for taking out things and characters that have more than 1 wound. Their bolt spitters are alright. They're a range of 24 inch, the strength 4, AP 5, rapid fire. Nothing to write home about. Of course, one of the options is a warp fire blaster, which is like a minier version of what Mara Gal has. It's a range of 24 inches, strength 6, AP 4, assault 2, but it is breaching 4+ and pinning. So it's like a little plasma gun in a way. There are no special rules for the Gal Vorbak squad, which is very rare. It would be good. I mean, obviously they've got their normal 3+, and they've got the 5+ Feel No Pain, but they don't have an invulnerable save. But of course, it's worth putting Argyle Tal in your army if you're going to be running Gal Vorbak, because if Argyle Tal is the army's warlord, then both Argyle Tal and any Gal Vorbak unit he joins gain a 5+ invulnerable save and the line unit subtype. So if you want to give them a 3+ normal, 5+ Feel No Pain, and then a 5+ invulnerable, then yeah, take Argyle Tal with them. Then take Argyle Tal with them. But of course, Argyle Tal himself is another 240 points. So it soon adds up. Pricey, but you know, you'll also have another unit there with Murderous Strike 5+ and Rending 5+2. How to take these out? Well, they're tricky. You know, they have 3 wounds each, so you look at a unit of 5 there, and you may think, oh, okay, there's 5, you know, 5 wounds. Nope, because they've got 3 wounds each. Yes, that means you look at a unit of 5, and they're actually essentially equivalent of 15. Then you put Argyle Tal in the mix. That's for 6 miniatures. You've got 20 wounds there. Then you combine all of their normal saves. Then you combine their toughness of 5 with their saves of 3+, then their Feel No Pain, and potentially their invulnerable save. They're going to be a bit of a pain to take out. My best advice is, if your opponent hasn't put them in like a Land Raiders Spartan or something, or a drop pod. Do we have Horus Heresy plastic drop pods? No, I don't think so. Is to wipe them out from long distance. Do not, under any circumstances, let them get close to any of your units. You really need to be taking these out from afar. They haven't really got ranged weaponry. They're quite fast at movement at that 8 inches. So taking them out from distance is your best option with these. I really like the Gal Vorbak, from reading the earlier Horus Heresy novels and later on. I like the lore behind them all. And these miniatures are fantastic too. Lots of detail, and they remind me of the Death Guard in a way. What do you guys think of the Gal Vorbak? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Death to the False Emperor.